I'm going to record making of a little flip book using the Be Happy collection from Echo Park. And this collection is super cute, and then it has lots of blacks and yellows and a soft blue and even some green. And it also has a check that matches the check in the book, flip book from Simple Stories. So I've gone in and I've picked out the items to go on the front, but I want to show you what's in these flip books because several of you have never done the flip books, but I want to show you what's in them. This is the buffalo check, and you get 10 pocket pages. There's 3 of the 6x8, and that's the full sheet, which is a 6x8, and there's 3 of those. And then there is the 4x6s. It's got a section for 2 4x6s, so there's 1, 2, 3 of those. And then you've got a section that has 4 of the 3x4s. Oh, I take that back. It's 2 3x4s and a 4x6. There's 1, 2 of those, and then here is the 3x4s. 1, 2, 3, 4 of those, and there's 2 of those pages. So that gives you 10 of the pocket pages. So I'm going to take off this, and I'm going to lay it over on the side because I don't want to lose what I've used in my project. So that's the first piece. Now this is the front of the book. And what I'm going to do to the front of the book is put yellow. It's my first cover. And then I'm coming on top of that with black. These are the solids that go with the Be Beautiful or the Be Happy collection. Let me show you that. I've got a full pack of coordinating cardstock that goes with it. And I'm using the yellow and the black. They're double-sided. But because I don't want to waste any of this, and it's going to be layered on top of each other, I'm going to take this off, lay this to the side, and before I put that down, I'm going to grab my Creative Memories trimmer, and I'm going to trim a half an inch from the edge to the inside. What I'm going to do is cut this out because I want to use this for something else in the album. So I'm cutting a half an inch all the way around. Now this trimmer has great little markings on it so that you can always keep up with where you are. There's that. And where's my scissors? Here's my scissors over here. The ones that my dog chewed. And I missed that one a little bit. So I'm going to cut that, trim that off the edge. And I'm going to trim this one off the edge. And this one, just trimming them. If I cut better, I wouldn't have had to trim. So that's that. And I've got all this to use on the inside of the book. Well then, I'm going to bring the black, and the black goes right on top of it, just like that. But I'm going to put something on top of the black. So I'm going to cut the same out of the black. I am saving as much of this paper as I possibly can. And I'm coming a half an inch from the outside edges. I'm putting it on the half-inch mark here. Get used to using your trimmer. There's that. And put this one in here. Trim it all the way to the edges. And hopefully I've caught it all this way. And if I don't, go back and find those scissors and trim it a little bit myself. Grab it. There's that. There's that. Now I'm going to save that for later. So this is this, and this is this, And this is going right on top of that, just like that. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is put that down. And I'm going to grab my scrapbook adhesive paper, or excuse me, my scrapbook adhesive, and use it on this. And you know me, I try not to waste my adhesive. So I'm skipping around a little bit. There we go. Now, I'm going to make sure that it's not any of it over the edges. And cut that out like that. And cut this one out like this. Cutting the outside edges because I did have a little bit of adhesive sticking over the edges. Not a problem. Trimming it down. See that adhesive stuck right there. I'm going to grab it and pull it off. Not a problem if it's on the inside. And I'm going to bring that, put it right down there like that, and hopefully it will fall where it's supposed to be, just like that. There we go. Now that is that. And if it's got little hairs or whatever sticking off, you can always fix that later. Now, this is going to go right on the top of that. Now, when I put this on my book, I'm going to want some definition, some depth on my book. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this full sheet up. And what I'm going to do with that is grab, I got everything laying out on my table. This is the way I scrapbook, y'all. It's usually a big old mess on my table. I'm going to lay this out. This is a piece of Kids Craft foam. And what I'm going to do is put this down right on top of it, like that. I'm going to put my adhesive on it. Putting it. It's not very thick. I can't tell you exactly how thick this Kids Craft is. You could use Pop Dots. You could use foam tape. But because it's going to be the front of my book, and I want it to be a little more stable than with just Pop Dots, I'm going to use this. And I'm going to put this down on top of it just like that. And you'll see I've got a little bit of extra over the edge. So I'm going, when I get ready to cut this, I'm going to cut towards the inside of the foam so it doesn't show any foam beyond my flowered piece. And see, I put my scissors right up under the edge, and I'm scooting along the edge of this. I didn't measure. I'm not a measurer, y'all. So that is that. And I'm going to put that out of sight, and that gives it a little bit of stability. Now I'm going to pull this piece back in, just like this, and it's going right there on top of that. And that gives it a little dimension. So I'm going to go ahead and put, let's do it this way. If I had my score tape in here, I would pull my score tape and use it on this frame. But my score tape's in the other room. And it doesn't matter if this comes to the inside. You know why? Because it's going to stick. This is what sticks down to the paper, or the front of the book. So I'm going to let that little bit stick over. I hope y'all can see me. I'm not looking at it on my iPad. I'm not exactly sure the placement. So I'm going to hope it works. I am going to share this because I would like for others to be able to make this book. There we go. Put it on there. There it is. Not 100% perfect, but it's going to work. You know why? It's going right on the outside edge of my book. Coming back in here, running my adhesive. See, I've got a little bit of adhesive showing there. Quite all right because nobody's going to see it. And I'm coming over the outside edges with more adhesive. And I will put adhesive on the foam like that. You can use foam anywhere you would have used chipboard. And now I'm going to put this in. It's not quite a 1/2 inch from the edge. Just kind of squaring it up in there. Now, I want something to go on top of my book, and I'm thinking this Just Be You is going to be perfect for the front of my book, but it doesn't pop. So guess what? I've got this left over that I used for the front of my book, and I can put that on there just like that, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to put my adhesive on here all the way top and bottom. I'm going to put it on here with about 1/8 inch showing all the way around. And in order to get it to be 1/8 inch, I got something on that. Shouldn't have food up here on my table, but I did have Triscuits. I'm going to bring this in here, and knowing that this is 4, I'm going to put it at 4 1/4. And that should, let's see what it does. Gives it a little more than I need, so I'm coming down to 4 1/8. Cut a little bit more off like that. Then I'm going to put this in there, trim it down, and there is that. Now I'm going to throw all of this. I'm not going to throw that one away because I might need that one. But you know what? Let's see what it's going to look like if I double mat this. So if I bring this in, bring back my cover in, and put that over there, it's a little bit too big. But guess what? I can cut off a little bit of that edge right there. Let me do that before I put it down on the yellow. Y'all, I have not designed this book ahead of time, just the papers that I was going to use. And with that being said, because I'm using this this scrapbook adhesives, it gives a little bit. And I'm going to put this in here, just like that. And it's kind of stuck. It's kind of stuck. Won't hurt it. Put this one right down here. Trim that off. Pull it up. Just cutting a little bit off. I will have to, when I document, what I did in my directions, I'll have to tell you how big to cut this. And all that'll be done when I measure it at the end. Let me put this back in to see how big it is. It's going to be almost 5 3/4 because I cut almost 1/4 inch off. Now I'm going to put this back in here. Just like that, because my sticky's still on the back of it. And you could use, on the edges of this, you could use some ink to distress it. Sometimes I don't like to distress, so this is one of those times I'm not going to distress. I'm going to put this down at 4, because I think that is going to be just about right. Might have to trim it a little bit more. Whoops. There we go. Put that back in here. Trim it down. Looks good. Not quite exactly even, but I'm going to pull it up and reposition it to get it even. There we go. Oops, look what I did right here. I can fix that too. Put it up on this end because I'm going to do something different up here. Let me get this all the way to the edges. It's about 1/8 inch. Like I said, I don't measure. If you try to measure and be exact, you're going to stress yourself out. So, still got that little piece right there. I want this to overflow, but you know what? It needs yellow underneath it. So here is my yellow. I'm going to put this down. Boop, boop, boop. Put this right here. Putting about 1/8 of an inch around the edge. That one's sticking up. I'm going to put this down there so it sticks down better. I've got my art glitter glue around here somewhere. Art glitter works fabulous. I'm not going to throw that away. That's another piece that might be the right size. And I'm going to put this in here. Make sure that I give it enough leeway. Perfect. This one's just not perfect. And I'm going to put it under there to the point I can see the blue. You get used to using your trimmer and you know exactly where to put stuff. So that is that. Again, everything that is little gets thrown away. Those will be saved. That is going right there. Now you're saying you still got that little mess right there. Yeah, I do. I love that. That's going on here somewhere. So I'm going to put this in here and give you another tip. You see how this is going to come over, and because this was popped up, this is kind of sticking up right there. I'm going to put pop dots under that, and I'm going to put my beautiful day right over the Just Be You. But before I do that, I am going to add pop dots to that. And if I'm lucky, my pop dots are sitting right here. They are. Right here they are. Let's put big pop dots on it. 1, 2, because it's on the cover of your book. I'm putting 1 pop dot every inch. And people say I overkill on my pop dots. Yes, I do. But guess what? I don't care. I like pop dots. 1. Throw these on the table so I can scoop them up later. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, bring that right next to me and put it, making sure that I'm covering all of what was down there before. Now that's ready to go on my book, but I need a pop dot along this edge. Don't need a pop dot because pop dots are going to be too big. So what I'm going to use is my strips. And this is the edge. I'm going to put them on the edge right like this with just a little bit of the paper showing along that edge. And because it is nice and high, I'm probably going to add another pop dot right on top of it. Lift that up like that. And it's ready to stick right down there. Now, this appears to be just a little bit higher. So what I'm going to do, you're going to like it. You're going to like it. I'm just going to tell you, you're going to like it. I pull paper up, but it's not a big deal because I'm going, look at there. Doot, doot. I love strips, y'all. I use a lot of strips. I use a lot of pop dots. Just like that. And just like that. I'm going to come over here and pull that off. This one needs to be trimmed just a tad. The rest of them I placed better, so they were not showing over either end. Now, I'm going to put this back down, and because I've added pop dot or pop strips on the saying and 2 on the end where it goes over the edge, I'm going to hide the mess I made. It pops up. And it's not quite even. Again, same from here, That's that. Guess what? That is still there. Well, you know what? That's what they make black pens for. Cover up your mess. There it is. Gone, gone. All right, and I'll put a little more adhesive down here so it doesn't stick up. There. And this will be the front of my book. I'll come back and show y'all what it looks like when I get some more pages designed. Thanks for watching. Bye.